All right, everybody, welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. I'm DK, the co-founder and visionary of Burn Bootcamp. You are in my office right now. This is my whiteboard. I go through this season every year where I have to get into my motivation, my inspiration game going. Switching up my environment here in the office. If you're watching this on YouTube, just give me a little scan real quick, Zay. I mean, it's messy right now, don't get me wrong, but I am in overhaul. I've taken all of the big cluttery things out, and I'm changing my environment in here and turning it more into a creative hub and a creative space for me. And I thought that you might need a little bit of inspiration and motivation. So I wanted to break inspiration and motivation down through Ask Devin Anything with 5 ways to stay motivated and inspired. And when you think about 5 ways to stay motivated and inspired, what does that really mean? Well, I think the first question is that you'd say, okay, what is motivation? What is inspiration? Are those the same things? Are they different things? And I believe that they're different things. I think motivation and inspiration, both are necessary, but they serve 2 different purposes. All right, motivation, it's more fleeting. It's kind of like a bath. You need it every day, or a shower. You need to cleanse yourself every day with motivation. And so these tactics tend to be like more outside in, more environmental. And then inspiration, on the other hand, tends to come from inside of you. It tends to come from a deeper place, a longer term sense. You need inspiration to stay focused in the long term, but you need motivation, all right, to make sure that you're waking up today and getting it done. And so I thought I would break this down on the Ask Devin Anything podcast. Thank you for being here. If you have not subscribed to the Burn Bootcamp podcast, flex on that subscribe button. Let's do this thing. We only have right now, guys, 49, Isaiah, reviews, and we just started 30 days ago. So we're gonna need to get that review game up, okay? So if you guys love Morgan, if you love myself or Burn Bootcamp, and we've done anything for you, all right, then please just go flex on that subscribe button, leave a little review, and on Apple Podcasts. It would make us super happy. All right, let's get into the podcast today. Let's break it down, motivation versus inspiration. Let's start at number 1 here on my board. So I'll go back and forth between motivation and inspiration, and I'm gonna give you 5 tactics in each one. The first motivational tactic for me is listening to a song. I mean, I have a playlist that I keep on my iPhone, and it's, those songs where you listen to it and you just have to move your body, right? Your physiology is connected to your psychology, and so when you listen to a song and it kicks in that rhythm for you and you start dancing, well, that is you moving your physiology, and that will excite your brain. It will excite the chemicals in your brain that are going to get you motivated for that day, or at least take your mind off of whatever else might be going on. As you can tell, like a fleeting thing, like listening to a song, just a way to get motivated. Okay, inspire. You're going to see the fundamental difference between motivation and inspiration here. Find a mentor. Find a mentor. If I could give you 3 pieces of general life advice, number 1 would be find a mentor. Number 2 would be anchor yourself in your workouts every single day. And number 3 would be learn something new or feed your mind daily. And a mentor is the center of all of that. To feel inspired, you've got to experience somebody else who is inspired, who can transfer that energy to you. And it doesn't matter whether it's somebody that you know or you don't know. When I was getting started in my career, I didn't have true mentors in my life. I didn't have people that I could look up to, or anybody that I could look back and say, hey, this was a true mentor for me. I mean, there was lots of people along the way that taught me things, but nobody that said, hey, I'm gonna put my arm around you, you and me, you're doing this, and I'm gonna take you under my wing. That never happened. So I had to go out and I had to seek that, okay? I had to seek that inspiration. I found a Tony Robbins CD. My story that most of you know is when I was 12, 13 years old, and I was still riding my bike to school. I had my Sony Walkman. I found my Tony Robbins CD, and it was personal power. And ever since I was hooked on Tony Robbins content, and I watched probably everything Tony has from 1982 all the way till now, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times over, okay? And so that the beauty about the internet and the beauty about having YouTube, especially in podcasts nowadays, is that you can have a mentor and they don't even need to know that you necessarily exist. Better to have one in person, but always not necessary in order to have a mentor. Okay, number 2, Let's go back to motivation. Okay, you can increase your heart rate. You want to get motivated. You wake up, you're not feeling your greatest. You're a little depressive today. You wake up and you're just, oh, life is just, kicking me while I'm down. All right, listen, same thing as number one, listen to a song. Your physiology is going to ignite your psychology. All right, so get your heart rate up. The best way to fix your day is to get your butt moving, and you don't need anything to do that. All you need is a pair of running shoes or a pair of shoes at all, and just go run. Listen, I'm Burn Boot Camp. I'm the fitness guy. I love training, strength training, conditioning, but at the end of the day, fitness is free. All you have to do is get outside and just go run, okay? Ignite your physiology. All you have to do is just high knees real quick. Look, I don't even have shoes on right now. I don't even have shoes on and I can do it, okay? We're just going high knees into your chest, get the heart rate up. Do that for a minute right when you get up if you're feeling in a negative emotion, and you'll get out of that negative emotion relatively quickly, a form of motivation. Okay, number two on inspiration, write down what I call the true goal and then reread that goal. So every single night, before I go to bed, I break out my sheet, it's in my phone actually, and I break it out and I read my goals. And then when I wake up in the morning, I reread my goals. And it's a true goal. What that really means is that, hey, what's true in your nature? What's true in your heart? Who are you? What are you here for, right? And what ambition do you want to lay in the world? How do you want to impact the world? And how do you want to leave the world a better place than when you found it? That's your true goal. Write that down. Reread that over and over. That's going to give you a source of inspiration. Remember I said motivation comes from the outside. Inspiration comes from the inside out. And so when you write down this true goal and you reread it, it's you reciting your ambitions. It's you reciting the things that are going to motivate you to get up and wake up tomorrow. So there's definitely a correlation between inspiration and motivation. Okay, number three, tell other people your goals. If we're talking about motivation, tell other people your goals. Listen, your environment can help you reach your goals. Think about this. Are you going to stick to your workout if you're working out at home for 45 minutes a day and you're by yourself and there's no accountability? Or if you tell your friends that you're going to go meet them at Burn Boot Camp and you guys are going to go 4 times this week and you're expected to be there, you're expected to show up and work hard for that 45 minutes. What way is going to be more motivating for you? Okay, so telling other people your goals and having a little community vibe along with your own personal goals is going to help you stay motivated, because they will pick you up when you're feeling down. All right, you can't rely on that for inspiration, because you need to be inspired, you yourself and whoever your higher power is. That is your inspiration, but other people can help motivate you along the way. Okay, so number three, when we're talking about getting inspired, that's changing your environment. Okay, changing your environment. What I'm doing in my office right now is I'm not changing my external environment so that I feel motivated. I'm putting things inside of my environment that are going to prompt my internal motivation. So I'm putting an art desk right here, and I love to draw, and I'm going to put an art desk right here, but it's got to be on wheels, because I can't sit for more than 2 seconds and do anything. I need to be up and I need to be moving around. But if I have a deadline to get a design done or something like that, I know the Burn Boot Camp shoes are on deck. I'm going to start designing a lot of our trainer apparel as we move forward into the future. I need to be able to have a tool in my environment that prompts me to do so. So it's almost like, hey, if flowers make you happy, then put flowers around your environment that you're already in, and you're going to look at the flower, and the flower will elicit that inspiration, will elicit that emotion for you, okay? All right, let's move on to number 4. Set weekly outcomes. We're talking about motivation. Number 4, set weekly outcomes. Notice, inspiration number 4 is get in the zone. We'll talk about what the difference between those two things are. But set weekly outcomes, this is bound by time. This is every single week. I want to know on Sunday night, before I even get up and execute my day, I want to know the feeling that I want to elicit for myself and others around me on Friday afternoon, when we're getting ready to go for the weekend and everybody's getting ready to set the pen and paper down for just a couple days. I want you to know and anticipate ahead of time on that Sunday exactly how you want to feel, what your weekly outcomes are. This is like the stick and the carrot. This is the outcome dangling in front of you. This is the reward. Okay, if the reward happens in the effort, you're going to have such an easier time staying motivated and inspired. Let me say that one more time. If the reward, meaning that what motivates you, is the weekly outcome, then at the end of that week, you're going to feel very good about yourself because all of the execution all week long led up to you feeling that you were very accomplished by the end of that week. And if you can find effort, if you can find reward in effort, if you can find pleasure in the pain of doing the repetitions, right? And you can language in your mind that I know this is painful as I'm going through it, but man, the outcome of this is so exciting and invigorating for me as you're working out. Okay, that's what I mean by set your weekly outcomes. Don't anticipate the work that you have to do to get to the outcome. Just make sure that you have the outcome, all right? And all of the to-dos that come from Sunday to Friday, you minimize all of those to-dos getting into your weekly outcome. That way you don't have so many things to get done in order to feel like you're progressing, all right? Get in the zone, number 4. If we're talking about inspiration, I say get in the zone. What is this? This is the unexplainable. I have no idea what this is, to be honest with you, but it's the muse, it's the tunnel vision, some people call it. It's the blackout. It's when I work out and I'm by myself and I'm doing a long, hard run, it's when it happens the most. I just tunnel everything out and my mind starts to go into a place where my thoughts are not even my thoughts. My thoughts are just coming in and I just listen. I don't even try to judge them. I don't try to stop and think about it or to contemplate. I just go and I connect with that thing, whatever that thing is. As a writer, I have it. As a fitness programmer, I have it. As an artist, I have it. And as an entrepreneur, I have it. And just depends on, kind of what's on my mind at the time, the muse, the zone. It will deliver you everything that you need, all of the ideas that you need to have if you're willing to open up, be vulnerable, and actually do an activity, okay? Do an activity that gets your physiological body in that zone, okay? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can even, and I don't mean just spiking your heart rate. I also mean you can meditate to get here. You can meditate to get in the zone. I mean, when you are no thing and no time and nowhere and you're in meditation, you are connected. The ideas come in, and then you become symbiotic with whatever that thing is, and I don't know how to explain that. Okay? Number 5 in motivation, okay? Go to a seminar. Go to a seminar. Get some knowledge. Pour into yourself. Invite a friend to go to a seminar. Make it fun. If you have a friends and family goal in 2023 and beyond, like I do, is to spend more intentional time with family and more intentional time with friends, then, bring them to a seminar and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. This is a motivational thing. This is fleeting. Be careful on number 5, you seminar hoppers. I don't want you guys out there just going to seminars and thinking that, you're leveling up when you're really just mistaking movement for progress. Okay, I love you, so I want to tell you the truth. You can mistake movement for progress very easy. If you're going to all the seminars, but you're not executing on what you're learning, then what are you doing there besides just getting knowledge? Knowledge without the ability to execute is not power, it is useless. All right? Number 5, under inspire, and this is the last one, is study greatness. I'm a sports fan, but I'm not an individual team fanatic. I am a fan of the greatest athletes in their sport respectively, who have overcome the most adversity to achieve the most success. And usually these people have more people hate them than actually love them. So when you look at LeBron James, when you look at Serena Williams, when you look at Tom Brady, some of the people that are hands down the GOATs, the greatest of all time in their category, you look at Elon Musk as from an entrepreneurial standpoint. You look at Devin Klein from a fitness standpoint. I mean, what? No, I'm just kidding. You study greatness, okay? You study greatness, and I promise you that just studying it, and I say study greatness, because it's not just passively listening. When I read the Elon Musk story written by Ashley Vance, the book, the biography, I study it. I don't just read it. I listen, or I will look at the book. I will take a highlighter. I will highlight the things that are important to me. I will circle the things that I have no idea what those mean, or if I wanted to save a thought and go on a tangent later, I would make an annotation and make a bubble, and I would say, hey, Google this or look up this, and I'm real-time Googling things that I'm not certain that I understand at the same time that I am trying to really just like take apart the text and really thoroughly understand it. My goal in 2023 is to take one book per month, and go so deep on it that I could, in essence, recite you that book back without even needing the text. All right, that's what I mean by study greatness, okay? So 5 ways to stay motivated, to stay inspired, knowing that there is a difference between motivation and inspiration. You need both, all right, but you also need to know the difference, because I want to set you up for success. And I know just as well as you that we have periods of motivation and demotivation. Now, here's the trick. The trick is to shorten what's called in psychology the refractory periods of that emotion when you're in demotivation. Because the only thing that puts you in demotivation, right, is a negative emotion, not negative meaning good or bad, but negative emotion meaning on the negative spectrum of emotion. And all of these things are really designed to impact your physiology now, like right now, like boom, like today. And so this motivated column can help you shorten the refractory period of the emotions, of the negative emotions that you have when you're demotivated. And over here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna stay motivated longer. You're gonna wanna really find a mentor, write down your true goals and reread those true goals. Change your environment, put tools in your environment that elicit that inspiration. Get in the zone, like whatever you need to do to connect to that muse, get in the zone and make it happen. Let the ideas flow in and just go with it. And then 5, finally, study greatness, because nothing new is under the sun. Everything you want to do has been done before. You're just trying to build combinations of things that other people have laid before you, put them together to create your own greatness. And you will get demotivated along the way. Happens to me all the time, but I use these 5 tips for motivation and these 5 tips for inspiration to make sure that I'm always on point as I possibly can be, and I wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys had a great time today. Make sure to subscribe, flex on that subscribe button on podcast and YouTube, all right, and leave that review on Apple. That would be amazing. Thank you. We love you. 2 claps on 2.